One of the things that sort of surprised me the most about this position is the huge importance of workforce development and education. And I think one of the biggest challenges that Caroline County is facing, and I think that this is true of other counties on the shore as well, is the skills gap. And you hear about that a lot at a national level, but I think we really feel it here because we have a pretty strong manufacturing base. So, we have the challenge of getting the more advanced technical workers trained and qualified and hired into these companies, and those openings tend to be open for a while here. So the school system has become my most significant partner, and Chesapeake College is another important partner, even Del Tech. To be honest, in economic development, I tend to not get involved with the retail side of things a lot because a lot of the large chain stores, they kind of have a demographic formula that they look at, and you either fit that formula or you don't, and so it doesn't matter how you incentivize them or disincentivize them. They're gonna look at their formula and they're gonna come based on that. So the town of Denton has really been active, and the town manager has really been active in working with those retailers to bring them out to the shopping center. And I think it was always sort of known if Wal-Mart came, so would other companies. So, and that's been a good thing. The shopping center out there has gone through a really nice renovation. It looks much more modern, looks a lot better. Some of those stores are starting to open up. Very excited that there will be a Petco opening soon. So, certainly it's been a boon to the tax base, certainly, and a boon for employment. Walmart's one of the largest employers in the county now. It's like, in the top 5. So that's significant.
Yeah.
When you're in a rural area like ours and you're looking to grow and what the next big thing is, I think you have to look internally and you look at your companies you have that are doing well. And I think that those are the best growth opportunities. And I have to say that the manufacturers who are here have come through the recession pretty well. If they're still here, then they're doing really well and they're starting to grow and expand. And so, my emphasis is doing everything I can to help our manufacturing base, our transportation and logistics, our fulfillment base. We're strong in all of those industries, doing everything I can to make sure that they can continue to grow. So that's sort of priority number 1. Second priority, actually probably further down the list after workforce development and a few other things, but in terms of business attraction, I think other businesses that are related to that, other specialty niche manufacturers, we're really well suited to that with the workforce we have and some of the initiatives we're doing to improve workforce development, the low cost of land and room to expand, and all of those things I think are very appealing for a niche manufacturer. The school system's actually quite strong. So in terms of, attracting a business and them feeling comfortable that the families whose kids will be in the school system will be good, that's good. But that technical training gap is big, and that's really it just has not been a priority with the state of Maryland. So, you look at states like Delaware or South Carolina who have really invested in technical education and what that's meant for their economy. It's been huge. So we're at I think a bit of a disadvantage, and I think we feel it more here than maybe other parts of Maryland do because we have such a strong manufacturing base. So that's certainly a big challenge to overcome. And then the other is just, we're small, we're very rural, we're not a wealthy county, so it's difficult to compete with counties that have, big economic development budgets and big marketing budgets for business attraction, which we just don't have. I mean, we have by far the smallest economic development budget in the state, and, that's okay. I think we do a really good job with what we have, but it is frustrating sometimes. It's hard to compete when your resources are smaller.
What's your agricultural base?
It's huge. We're the number 1 agricultural county in the state. So
that's what King County thinks.
Yeah. Well, according to the Star Democrat today,
Is that right?
Yeah. So I guess it was yesterday. There was $239 million in agricultural receipts, if I remember correctly. So it's very significant. Yeah, I'm sure Kent and Caroline are neck and neck. So, and I think the idea of the food hub to help with market expansion for farms is great. And from an economic development standpoint, I'm very interested in value-added agriculture. not that I'm disinterested in traditional agriculture, but I think value-added ag is a really great complement to our traditional ag base, and it tends to result in more profits that are being retained locally, and it results in more employment in that sector. So I really like to focus on that niche within ag, and a food hub could really help with that, because there's more marketing around a value-added product, and so that's something that a food hub could really help with. And I did express concerns when it seemed like the focus was shifting to be more on promoting one type of agriculture over another, i.e. kind of saying organic is good, everything else is bad. And I was concerned about that and sort of expressed that, but I think that now that the focus has really shifted back to an economic development issue of how do we help farmers expand their markets, how do we help them market their products, that's something that makes a lot of sense, and that's something that I'm excited to see that come to fruition. A lot of expectation for a very small army.